Hey, happy people. Welcome to Life in a Reel. One of my hobbies is to cook, and I enjoy doing that, especially when it is for my loved ones. And today, I decided to make some beef burger. The reason I'm making this video is to just encourage anyone who is interested in cooking and wondering, oh, is cooking rocket science? Can I do that? Can I do this? Hey, what I do is very simple, lazy cooking. But something that is really yum. So here I'm making some beef burger and simple. Get some mincemeat, add some onions, very finely chopped onions, pepper and salt. Now those mix are the basic. You can bring in any kind of additions to that and just make a beef patty just like how you saw me making. Now these are the ingredients that I'm using. Of course you need the bun, the cheese and the sauce. Have you wondered how the hotels are able to provide burgers with some really nice sauce? It's very simple. Get some mayonnaise, get some pasta sauce, just mix them together. You get this good thick sauce which really goes well for any kind of cheesy bread meat items. Okay, so apply the sauce, toast the bread, apply the sauce, get some lettuce, and I would like to keep it like this so that the children finds it fancy instead of feeling that they are eating a big leaf. And on top of the beef patty you put the cheese and melt the cheese lightly and just place them on the burger. Voila, your beef burger is ready. And that is your tasty, yummy beef burgers. Anybody can cook. You can do this at home. Very simple and easy. I find that children are the best critics because they're very open with what they feel. And my son loved it. You like it? Next, what we are cooking are these ones, which are meat and cheese pockets. You can call them by any name, but what you need to do for that is to make the dough and the filling. For the filling, just get the mincemeat, add the basic. What I've done is just basic ingredients added to it, like ginger, garlic, pepper, and salt. You can add whatever you want to it. You can make it, add more vegetables to it, but make sure that all of them are cooked well and seasoned well before you are ready to make the pockets or calzones or fatay or however you want to call it. But let's make the dough first. Okay, to make the dough, all you need to do is take a bowl of warm water. This is almost about 3/4 cups of water, and add about 1.5 tablespoons of sugar. And then what I'm using is the instant yeast. The best way would be, now I'm using about 4 cups of flour. So these are just the rough measurements for all that. I'm not following any particular recipe, but I've gone through a lot of recipe and I've basically understood that this is what the technique goes beyond that, beyond all of that. So let's make it very rough. All right, so make the mix of the yeast and keep it for a few minutes so that it gets activated. The yeast gets activated in warm water and sugar. And to the 4 cups of flour, you add your salt and just mix that well up and add the mix of yeast which you have activated, just keeping it for 5-10 minutes. 5 minutes is good enough if it's instant yeast. And also some people use oil, but I've used melted butter here, and mix it together. And of course you would need some more water to it. Roughly another cup of water is what you need for it, but of course just need to have a feel for it of knowing. But hey, don't worry about how you need it. Some people say you gotta knead the pizza dough. You know what, I said this is just lazy cooking. Just mix it up like that. It should be sticking into your hand, no problem, but just keep it for resting for about 30 minutes or 1 hour. I kept it for about an hour because I had to go do some other work and come back. Once you find your dough risen up, once you're ready for working at it, just bring it down to a place like that and just start working on it. Now please realize that for the professionals, there are very professional way of doing it, but this is easy home cooking where when I do this, I enjoy doing it. I feel like I'm like a kid playing with, like how kids play with the Play-Doh. Just play with it, just enjoy it. And so here I am to beginning my work with making the first filling. Let's, for the sake of it, let me just call it, what I'm attempting to do is do something like a fatire, which is a Kuwaiti a snack that you can buy freshly baked in a firewood oven. And I always loved to recreate that, and because I enjoyed it so much. So, and that one just has cheese, and they also have cheese and meat. So just what it basically has is just cheese and meat, mozzarella cheese and meat, right? Mozzarella cheese are now available everywhere. You can buy that. If not, just use the regular processed cheese. Yeah. The only thing that you need to worry about is to make sure that it is neatly kept well. Look at me there. I'm just enjoying playing with the dough, just enjoying it as a hobby. All right. So don't worry about do you do it to the perfection of the recipe and all that. Well, I watch a lot of recipes and I get the basic idea and I just do it on my own. That's how I do it. I don't know, maybe if you are someone who can follow a recipe to the teeth, please do that. But for someone who just wants to know the basics and just want to play with it, go for it. So this is the second one that I did. In this one, I have used a little bit of sauce. Again, the same pizza sauce that you get ready made. Of course, you can make that very easy with tomato and onions at home. Maybe another day I can teach you on how to make that. But today I was just lazy to make the sauce, so I just bought it from the shop and mixed it with mayonnaise, and that makes it a good base for any kind of fillings that you would want. And I love doing all that. It's like braiding and making a bake like that. Okay, so the fillings, I mean, you can bring any kind of variations to this. Please understand that you can bring any kind of variations. The whole idea is the basics of the dough has to be right, the basics of the filling has to be right, and of course the children would want to have something different. So I decided to make something different with the third one. So I spread the dough, cut it into 4 pieces, just like that, what you see there, and 1 strip of sauce, and I fried some sausage. Sure, Sammy loves sausages, so to play with the kids for their treat, well, do the same thing. Basically, it's the same thing. Instead of the minced meat, you use sausage there. All right, so put all of them on the top. So what I've done, another thing that you also should know is once you're all set like that, just keep it for 10 minutes more so that the bread, it just rises up a little bit, just forms it well, holds everything together. Meanwhile, you can make another calzone. If you go to Domino's, you will find something called as calzone. So I'm recreating something similar. Again, you know what? Because you're making it for your family and for yourself, be generous with cheese and the meat and the sauce and all that, unless you lack all that. Now that we are only 4 of us to eat this, I'm just gonna be generous with that. Now, for baking in a preheated oven, bake it for altogether about 25 to 30 minutes. First 20 minutes, just make sure that the heat is only from the bottom, which is the baking part, and then about 20 minutes later, take it out and do something called as egg wash. Just beat up an egg and just apply it on the top, and then put it back again and bake it for another 10 minutes, and that will give you an outcome like this. It's such a joy to watch the children just being excited with what is on the table, and absolute joy to give them this treat. Of course, these are things that you can buy on any shops these days, and you can treat them, but it's something different when you are able to make it on your own and let your family enjoy that. So as I said, this is another hobby of mine, and I love making it for my loved ones. Would you like to join me someday? Here's my wife enjoying it.
I was really close to the fataya that I used to have in Kuwait.
With what was left, I made 2 more for tomorrow. But this is all for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. If you have any thoughts and comments, please do share. And thank you so much for your support. Until next time, keep on smiling.